Hello. Got anybody here?
Everybody's chatted.
Huh. Wow. Okay. Well, we'll just hang out a minute and see if you guys decide to join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you join us. Okay. Gives me a chance to pour my Diet Coke anyway. Oh, there's two people. Hi, two people. I'm not sure who you are.
It's me.
But it's good to see you. We're just hanging out for a minute to see if some of our chatters will join us. It's just a minute to get started here. If you're one of our regulars, please sign in so I know you're here.
There's forms that are coming.
There she is. Hi, Mary T. We're just hanging out for a second to give people a chance to find the stream. Pouring some Diet Coke. Nectar of the gods. It's good to see you, my friend. We have lots of people around here, Mary, that are forecast for snow this weekend. Are you guys getting any of that action up there in Seattle area? Hey, Sharma. Good to see you, my friend. We're just hanging out for just a minute to let people join us. And there's Brenda. Hello, Brenda. And there's Jane G. Okay, good. Let's go ahead and get started, and the rest can join us as they come, because I don't want to keep you guys who are timely waiting. So let's... Excuse me?
Your glue is in the way.
My glue is in the way? Okay. All right. Look what we're going to make. These are such cool cards. Really, really fun. Although I did find that the instruction sheet is not as intuitive as it usually is. And so while I was going to just do a couple of my cards ahead of time, it actually took me a little longer to interpret the instructions. And I thought, hi, Glenn. Wow. So we are going to go and actually create this card number 1 off your instruction sheet, so that you won't feel frustrated and overwhelmed when you try to do it. They don't have a video out there for this one. So let's just go ahead and get started. In your kit, you are going to have the Let's Get Artsy Creative card instructions. You're going to have your 8x8 pad. You're going to have 6 cards in envelopes. You're going to have a natural linen stamp pad. And you're going to have your Joy collectible pen. I think I'm going to start wearing a crafting apron and put all of these pens on my apron. I have a bunch of them.
Yes, you do.
So it'd be fun to wear them. I have a whole drawer full there. Okay. My last project is falling into my work area. All right, let's get going. All right, first thing you're going to want to do, according to the directions, is to score your cards and ink them around the edges. I started that process. I only have a couple of them done, but they're recommending you score them, and which I've already done. I scored all these. They want you to score it at 4 1/4 inches, which makes sense, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch cards. And then To ink them, I'm just using one of my ink brushes, which is here somewhere. Ah, there it is. Nope, that's the Pearson tool. That should not be left out. Should, in fact, be left in. What did I do with my inking brush? Got lots of tools out here, guys. Well, worst case, get another one. I can do that. All right. So when we go to ink these edges, we're just going to get our natural linen pad. I will tell you these pads are not real juicy, so it takes a little bit of effort to get these inked. But all we're really going to do, and it doesn't matter if you have darker and lighter spots, it actually looks good when we're kind of trying to give this a tea-stained look. It actually looks good if there's darker and lighter places. So I don't have to be real careful about making sure that everything is nice and even like I sometimes try to be. I'm not sure I ever end up getting it nice and even. I have a full house class tomorrow, so it only stands, which has been rescheduled twice for the holidays. So it only stands to reason that we would get snow overnight, but I hope we don't.
We're not targeted for snow until next Friday, Saturday.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Saturday, Sunday. Just in time for the girls to go to the beach.
Yeah. Well, they're going to Lincoln City, so it's a little better than the Coast Highway 26.
Well, Jordan may want to come down a day early.
Yeah. I think she'll be here early anyway. Never gone but a few days. We're talking about Jordan, the one who's married to the submarine man. He's out to sea right now, and she's spending the larger part of our time with us, which is fine because, you know, we missed seeing her when she was back east. So it's nice to have her here and wanting to spend time with us. Okay, you really don't have to, it says ink all the edges, but you really don't have to ink all the edges. You should ink the front and the inside. You don't really have to do the back. So I'm just going to continue to ink around this edge. Sounds like that you guys back east are in for some serious snow that you haven't had for a year or two.
Yeah, the Northeast could get us over a foot of snow in the Boston area and
Oh, is that
3
right?
inches of ice.
Which means Jordan would have been buried in Connecticut too.
Yeah.
It's not that far from there. She doesn't have all-wheel drive on hers. I'm glad Lauren got it on hers. For Christmas, we got the girls, oops, missed a side. We got the girls a 2-night stay at the beach at one of our favorite little, I'm reluctant to call it a resort because it's not that kind of place. It's like a family operated motel that is
Older than the hills.
Huh? Yeah, it is older than the hills. They're renovating it a little bit at a time, but it's older than the hills and it's quaint. But it has the best ocean views of anywhere. Okay, so we got our edges inked. The next thing we're going to do is get into our paper pack. So let's do that. We're going to need 2 pieces out of our paper pack of the same paper. So I'm going to start by finding, I'll tell you what it's called when I find it. This one, which is called Paint Your Dreams. We're going to get 2 pieces of that out. And let's see, we also need one of these, which is called Design Beauty. I believe it's this one. This one is called Artist Therapy. So we're going to get those out. There might be more we have to get. I don't remember, but we'll get them as we need them. I'm going to start.
When will the kit be up for the Prima class?
That is a good question. Margie ran into a question on the pricing because she knew I wanted to keep it very reasonably priced. And because I added mirror board, jewels, ribbon, and 9 cards, it ended up being a price she knew that I wasn't going to like. So she emailed me her worksheet, and I didn't know it until last night when I was going through my email at the very last minute last night. So I found some ways to trim back the cost a little bit. I think it's going to end up being $23, which for 9 cards is a heck of a deal, especially when you know you're going to be able to get another dozen cards out of it. So Margie has the kits ready. She just needs to list it. So I would say there's a good chance it'll be up over the weekend. She will be here tomorrow, so I would say it for sure it will be up by tomorrow. Okay, so we're going to go to this really beautiful sheet here. Isn't that gorgeous? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'm going to start by trimming off the edge so I don't end up with that in my measures. Get rid of that. And I want the part that's got the sunflowers in it. So I'm going to turn my paper so that the sunflowers are what I'm cutting. And I'm going to cut this to be 4 by 5 1/4 inches. And I'll have my sunflower piece here. We're going to go ahead and put that.
Brenda just loves the paper. She's trying to decide if she's going to buy the whole pad or the kit.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. I will tell you that at $23, it's a heck of a deal because I went in and adjusted that pricing to bring it into the range that I wanted it to be. I was really hoping it would come in at a price similar to the last one, but when you make 9 cards and you add all kinds of extras, that kind of gets tough to do. But 23 is still a really good price for that card or that kit. And you are going to get so many cards from that. Really fun, too. I mean, you saw how easily they went together. Sometimes you just have to look at the paper and it tells you exactly what it wants to do, you know? So I'm going to go ahead and center this, leaving a small border all the way around. See, that yellow doesn't look pretty with a tea staining around the edge. I like that. All right, now I'm going to go to the back of the sheet. And I'm going to cut a piece. I have to look at the instructions to see what the dimensions were. Cut a piece. This is from side B. This is 3 by 4 1/4 inches. Four and a quarter. So I know this piece is 4 inches wide, so I'm going to have to cut it long way. 3 by 4 1/4. 4 1/4. And what that's going to do is create a mat for our photo. So we've got that. If we can go ahead and glue that down. I will tell you, in fact, it's probably really important I tell you, I only made 7 of the kits for sale from that rouge set, the Magnolia Rouge. You might be saying, well, why would you do that? Well, remember when I told you I bought the paper a year ago? So a number of the pieces had sold, and that's what I had enough. Even though I was breaking things up in the kits, that's how many kits we could make out of what we had here. So I opted to go ahead and do that. Now, we're going to get this one out. Art is Therapy. And we're going to cut out, we're going to cut out around the white edge. It's actually kind of an ivory edge, but I'm going to cut out, leaving the ivory border on this one. And it's a quote by Vincent van Gogh on it that says, I dream my paintings and paint my dreams. So I'm going to put, it doesn't say this in the instructions, we just like the way it looked. I'm going to put foam on the back of this piece. I like it popped up a little. Get our foam on there. And I'm going to center that in my blue square. I did glue that down, but I didn't do a very thorough job on the edges. Let's get that glued down a little bit. Which would work if I had a glue bottle that was working. And get me a bottle of glue off the table, please. I'm reluctant always to stick this big nozzle of this glue bottle in little spaces. It just leaves things untidy. Did you check it?
No, I brought a pen.
Oh,
Yay,
you. Yay, you. Thank you. Let's check it and see if it's working. It's not yet, but it will be. We have a Friday night card club here in the shop that we're sure having a good time. Makes me tired on Saturday mornings because we stay too late and we play too late. But it's fun. I had no one to blame but myself if I'm tired on Saturday mornings. This coming week, last night we finished up the winter ones that we did with the frames just a few weeks ago. We did that, and
Hi to Elsie.
Hi, Elsie. Good to see you. Now, it wants us for this little tag here to cut Let's Get Artsy. One of the things it doesn't say in the instructions is in order for it to look like that, you need to cut 2 of them side by side. So I'm going to go ahead and cut a Let's Get Artsy out here. And because I decided to prop the other piece up on foam, I'd have a piece of this just kind of hanging out in no man's land if I didn't put a little piece of foam on here on the end of that, or it's going to hang off the edge. So I'm going to put just a little piece of foam there. All right, where's it going to hang off? And now let's cut that down to where it doesn't show from the front, because that would be nice. And I need to cut just a little bit more of my dark blue off the edge of this.
Elsie got her card and says thank you.
Oh, good. Okay. Oops. Got a piece that had the. I forgot to glue it. Glue the other piece. All right. So I've got my edge, my edge of that on a little bit of foam. And I've got my Let's Get Artsy, and the outside is done. So next, let's go to the inside of our card. And this is the part where they're, excuse me?
Hi to Irene.
Oh, hi, Irene. This is the part where I think their instructions were a little bit goofy. So I decided that instead of just showing you this card, I wanted to work on it together because I think you might find it to be frustrating, and that's not what I want. Okay, I'm going to cut 2 pieces from this next piece of Paint Your Dreams. I want one piece that's 3 by 8 inches. And again, I like the sunflowers, so I'm going to turn this so the sunflowers are what are going to show at the top of my card. And then I want a piece that is 8 by 4 3/4. So I'm going to have one little tiny strip cut off of this. It's going to be, okay, let's just start with this one. And with this one, we're going to take this 3 by 8 that we cut. We're going to fold it in half. And I'm going to glue that 1/4 inch down and 1/4 inch in on my paper. Okay, so I'm going to put glue all over it. Now you want to be careful when you're gluing something into the middle of your card like this that you get clear up to the fold line in the center, because if you don't, it's going to pull away almost as soon as you make it. So in order to do that, I've got my piece here. I've got glue on both sides of it. I'm going to go to the center of my card with it. Make sure I like the placement, which I did not. There we go. I want to be right up to the fold line. And then I'm just going to close my card. As long as I'm right out to the fold. There we go. See that? It still tries to pull a little bit in the center, but once that dries, that should be good. Okay, next, I'm going to take this other piece. We're actually going to work on the blue side. And on this piece that we cut, that was 8 by 4 3/4. I'm going to measure down on one side. I know measuring. Can you believe it? I'm going to measure something. There's the brush I lost earlier. I'm going to measure down. And I'm going to mark this edge at 3 inches. Now I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to go from the 4 3/4 inch corner to that 3, and I'm going to draw a diagonal line across there. And I'm going to cut off that extra piece. Just like that. So, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this in quarters. So I'm going to start by folding it in half. Actually, I want the blue side out. And then I'm going to fold each flap back on itself. Does that make sense what I'm saying? So I'm going to end up with kind of a fan fold here. This flat back. So what I'll end up with is 4 2-inch panels. And I'm going to glue this panel then 1/4 inch from the bottom. That's going to give me my pop out. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on this panel. And I'm going to put some glue on the 2 outside panels, but I'm not going to glue the inside panels because that's the part that's going to pop. Okay, so we got glue just on the 2 outside panels. Hey, you have to watch this because this is going to try to slide on you. It's going to try to make it wider. And our job is to tell it no. You cannot do that. So I put down my first side. I'm going to stretch over my second side. And I'm going to glue that in place. And this is what I'll have at this point. Isn't that cute? Maybe not cute yet, but it will be when we decorate it. Okay, we're going to go to this sheet again, Artist Therapy. And we're going to cut off the roses and butterfly border at the bottom. Now I want that border to be 8 inches wide. And even though it's got a little bit of extraneous stuff on the edge there, I'm leaving that all on so that it will be 8 inches. Okay, we're not used to doing that. We're used to trimming everything up all neat and tidy. You're never going to notice it once it gets on there. And this is going to work better for you if you leave it in one piece. And what I am going to do is go ahead and fold this in quarters to have some help gluing it on. So I'm going to fold this back. There we go. And actually, I'm going to have to fold these the opposite directions, but that's okay. I've already creased my paper there. We'll make it easy to do. And I'm going to glue this piece on top of my blue. Okay? These are such pretty cards. I'm really liking the design work in these. I'm going to put the blue border on the bottom. And one of the reasons we can get away with having the extra piece there that I said we would normally trim off is because it's the same color blue as the blue that we're gluing to. So it looks great. And we've got that glued right in place now. Let's start decorating. We're going to get some artwork off of our 2 artwork sheets. One of the ones we want is up here in the corner of Art is Therapy. We want this Monet water lilies. And it says art is chaos taking shape. I know my art's chaos. Just look at my desk. Just to take it out of my paper, I cut it out part of the blue frame. But I actually want to trim this down to just the white frame, which will make this piece 2 inches and perfectly fit our card. So I'm going to put that right there. Let's just go ahead and do it. Putting it in above my butterfly border and below my angle. So it looks just like that. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Okay. Another one that we want is going to the Design Beauty page. We want this one in the corner. It's got the lady with her arm up behind her head. And she has a dark blue frame. In order to fit the space we have available, we're actually going to trim that down towards just the pink frame. So I'm going to take the blue frame off and just keep the pink frame. I'm very pleased with the way this demo is going because, like I said, there was actually an erroneous step in the instructions. And I found the instructions kind of difficult to follow. Maybe it was just me, but I was having a hard time with those. And I'm liking the way it's very straightforward in our instructions here. So I'm pleased with that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put this one in my next panel. And it will go above my butterflies and below my angle there. Okay, next we're going to go to this sheet, which is the Design Beauty again. I'm going to take out this Let's Get Artsy. And this also has a frame inside it. We're going to cut to the inner frame and Let's Get Artsy. So see this light blue frame? I'm going to cut it out along the light blue frame. Now, this is not going to fit my page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut an inch off each side to make that a 2-inch mat. In fact, I want to make it ever so slightly less than 2 inches so that it will fit in here nicely. So I'm going to start by trimming an inch off one side. I'll probably go ahead and cut an inch off the other side, maybe just a little bit more than an inch. Check it, and then I can cut a little more if I need to. That actually looks pretty good though. So I'm going to go ahead and take that up and set it there for the moment. Now we are going to go back to our paper pack, and we're going to pick out a sheet that we're going to do some fussy cutting from. And it's not a lot of fussy cutting, it's very easy fussy cut, but we will do a little bit of fussy cutting. I'll tell you what that sheet is as soon as I see it. It's got bright florals all over it. That one. Okay. And what I want to fussy cut from this is this flower right here. So I'm going to just rough cut it so you can see which flower I'm taking out. Taking out the lower right hand, no, the lower left hand corner. And I'll show you how much we're going to trim off.
Brenda says it's appropriately named.
Let's Get Artsy.
That piece of paper, I presume.
Oh, what was this one? Imagine a Flower Garden.
Yes.
Okay, get my fussy cutting scissors here. And all I'm going to keep out of this piece is the 2 roses at the bottom. I'm going to come into the sunflower petal. I'll take out the green here. I'm going to cut around this rose, or kind of a carnation, I think, actually, there in red. I'm going to cut out the carnation that's at the side. Then I'm just going to reach in and clip out these petals. That's the easiest way to fussy cut something like this, is just cut out the extra areas.
Say hi to Thelma.
Hey, Thelma, I was wondering where you were. I'm glad to see you, my friend. This is a really fun kit, Thelma. I have to be honest. It wasn't my favorite when I saw it. I know you guys loved it, and you could see the potential in it immediately. It wasn't my favorite when I saw it, but once I started working with it, it's really fun. It's really fun, and it's got amazing potential. So you guys were right all along. Wow. Let's put a little light on the subject. Bryce just turned my desk lamp on it. It's just like this all came to life. Just still reaching in and cutting out each one of these areas. The green I don't need. You can tell it's really easy fussy cutting. It's not going to take you all day. Just a little bit. Now we remember that our panel that we're putting this to is 2 inches wide. This flower is going to be just a little over 2 inches, so I'm going to actually trim a little bit off the edge so that it will fit in my space. A little bit off there. I'm actually going to take a little bit off the other side too. Just a little bit so it will fit easily. So here's my fussy cutting. You can see which flowers I used. All right, we've got our Let's Get Artsy panel that we set up there earlier. And that's going to go fairly high on our angle here. And then we're going to piece in our Let's Get Artsy underneath. In fact, I may let my panel I could let my panel go. I'm going to let it go a little over the edge of my angle because I want to make sure that my Let's Get Artsy right here shows. So I'm going to go ahead and put this panel in. And this is the side that's all glued down, so I can just glue this flat. I'm just going to go over my angle just a little bit to do that. And then I've got my pretty flowers we just cut. I'm going to set those on top of my butterfly border and let those flowers kind of take over that center area. A little extra glue here and there. I'm cleaning up. Well, thank you for reminding us all of that word, Thelma. You're funny. And we're going to put a little glue on our flowers. And our flowers are going to go in right here. Does that look pretty? We got one more panel. And we want to put one of our writing panels here. It's going to be small because remember, we only got 2 inches there. But we're going to put one of our writing panels there. And I think we could go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and take this one right here on the edge. So from the front, it's an abstract painting. But when we flip it to the back, it's the butterflies. And that's what I want over here. Now, it might have to be narrowed down just a little and trimmed off just a little. What I think I'm going to do is go ahead and take this white frame off the outside. And that will trim it down to fit the space I have available for it. And I'm going to put that butterfly right here. You guys got to keep talking, because when you don't talk, it makes me think I lost the stream. I have my chat back today, so what do you guys think of this? It actually, the way we just did it, it looks really easy. But again, and it is easy. That's why I found it frustrating. The directions were kind of crazy. This is how you're going to make all these cards. So as easy as that, we can make another one together. We've got 2 of those Rembrandt cards now. Or Van Gogh cards. Okay. So let's clear off a little mess. And let's look at these nifty instructions, and we'll try to interpret them together. The next one we're going to do, that's pretty. We're going to put a key on the next one, so that'll be fun. And we're going to run it the opposite direction, which is good because it will show us how to do the angles and things from a different direction. So let's see what we need here. We obviously need one of our cards. And we need one that's been inked, so we have that. So we can go ahead and use that one. This time we're going to do a horizontal card. We're going to start with a piece from our flower garden. Imagine a flower garden. And we're going to cut a piece that is 4 by 5 1/4. So I'll trim that strip off so I don't accidentally use it. Go to 5 1/4. Come down about 4 inches. And trim this out. There we go. This is a directional paper, so make sure that your butterflies are flying upward. You're cutting the 5 1/4 wide and the 4 deep. Well, I don't mind, but it just makes me nervous since my computer has been just naughty. It's been being naughty. Okay, so the next piece we want is four by 2 3/4. So 2 3/4, that's perfect. And I think this is already 4 inches. 2 3/4. So that's always nice when you can use a piece you've already partially cut. That's going to be our mat, the outside. And next, we're going to okay. What is that design? From Design Beauty, cut out the dark frame to being creative is not a hobby. And pop up on the center panel. That's the one we want. Being creative is not a hobby, it's a way of life. I like that. So we'll go ahead and trim out that saying. I'm going to trim this up a little bit while I'm at it too. So it's a little, make sure it's going to fit my Yeah, it's dark framed, but I'm going to cut the dark border off of it. And there's 2 frames inside here. I'm going to go to the inner frame, because otherwise it doesn't fit our mat. There we go. Let's go ahead and put this down to our orange mat. That's beautiful. In fact, let's put some foam on here. We'll put it to the orange mat, and we'll kind of glue together the outside. We've sold out of Let's Get Artsy so many times that I really ordered in a good supply of it. So whatever you need, or however many books you need, you should be able to get them. So we'll go ahead and pop this up a little bit on this mat, just because I like the way it looks. No other reason, just because I like it. That actually looks really fun. It seems like it would be busy with the orange dots and then the flowers, but it works. Let me go ahead and look at how this is assembled. Oh, okay. I wondered if we were still centering it. We are.
Thelma shares when Van Gogh died, his brother couldn't get any gallery to buy his paintings.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine? That's amazing. Was it Van Gogh, Thelma, at the end of his life that had such severe arthritis he painted with the paintbrushes tied to his arms? Kind of thinking it was, but I'm not sure. He still did spectacular work. Look how beautiful that is.
It says no.
It was not? Oh, who was that then? I'll have to look that up. One of the masters, and I can't remember now which one it was. I was thinking it was Van Gogh, but one of the masters had such severe arthritis towards the end of his life that he couldn't hold a paintbrush anymore. So his assistants actually tied to paintbrushes to his arms with leather ties, and then he would go ahead and do his work. It's so pretty. Ooh, very dimensional. Okay, so I'm going to glue this key in place here. I think just because of the strength of the glue, I'm going to do that with my Cosmic Shimmer, because once this Cosmic Shimmer is dry, it doesn't move. That actually sounds right. Thelma, that it might have been an Italian guy. Anyway, in my art literacy class, to teach, because we were always talking about something special and unique about the artist and about his or her work and what made them different. So when we did that section, we took paintbrushes and used masking tape and masking taped the brushes to the kids' arms and then had them paint. Okay, so I've lost my pen you gave me.
Didn't put it in your cup like
I usually do that. I did not, but there it is. Good. I'll put it in my cup this time, though.
in the cup.
Okay. So I'm going to glue down here. This would also be a good job for the best glue ever. This Cosmic Shimmer glue has a surprisingly strong hold when it dries. I'll try to do this without getting glue everywhere. We'll need to let that sit for a minute while we cut some of our other papers. Probably should have left it off until I was done, is what would have been the most reasonable thing to do. In fact, I think I'm going to do that because we've got work to do on the inside still. I'll take that off until we're finished and then we'll glue it back down. Okay, so we're going to go to the inside, and it says we're going to cut a piece of Imagine a Flower that I had left. It's not going to be big enough. That is 5 by 6. Interesting choice. 5 by 6. Adhere to the inside of the card about 1/4 inch. The top and centered side to side. It doesn't make sense. Imagine a flower garden. That's this one. Yeah. It doesn't make sense because what they're showing me is different than what they're telling me. Directions aren't great on this one, guys. But we'll figure it out. Cut a piece of Imagine a Flower Garden, 5 1/4 by 8. Well, let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll figure out what to do. Imagine a Flower Garden, 5 by 8. Oh, here's the next one. Let's see what's that. Piece of Imagine a Flower Garden, 5 1/4 by 8. So 8's the width of our paper. Five and a quarter should be okay. That's so 5 1/4 should be my width. 5 1/8. Is it 5 1/8? 5 1/4 by 8. This is the one we're going to put in at an angle. So now we're going to measure and mark a diagonal line from the 8-inch left top corner to 2 3/4 on the right side. Oh, that's a really steep angle on this one. 2 3/4. We'll mark it. Sounds like a neat book, Selma. 2 3/4. And then I'm going to come up to my 8. I'm going to draw a diagonal across there. I just did it backwards, but I think we could make it work anyway. I should have, I did exactly what they said, but that's okay. I end up with my, will this be backwards of them? It'll be fine. Okay, I do have a little bit of my pencil line still there. Let me trim off. Okay. All right. Line at the top. Top corner section. Bottom. Okay. So imagine flower garden. 5 by 6. Oh, I see what they're doing. There is a piece of Imagine a Flower Garden in there. It's just almost all covered up. Okay. So we need a piece of Imagine a Flower Garden. So that's the floral one again. That one. Adhere to the inside of the card, 1/4 of an inch from the top and centered side to side. So we want it to be 5 inches wide by 6 inches long. Inches long.
Sharma agrees. She loves G45, but their directions are for the birds.
Sometimes that's true. Okay. So I'm putting this in here. I put this in here. I see how we're doing that. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and this is interesting that they're going to don't have us. So it says adhere to the card, centered side to side. Flower garden 5. I don't know why they didn't have us cut that 5 1/4 by 6, but whatever makes them happy. I like to fold these before I put them in, but they didn't give me the dimensions to. They don't tell you anywhere to fold these panels, so it's one of the things I'm going to tell you. The directions probably won't. I'm just going to glue this all over, but it doesn't give me a dimension for my fold line, so I'm going to fold it inside the card, which is not ideal, but it'll work. So it's 1/4 of an inch from the top. And centered side to side. Crummies from glue in my fingers. Okay. Now I'll go ahead and fold that Get that in there. All right. So now we're going to fold this, and we're going to do our, we'll have our outside, our center fold is going to go to the outside. It'll be a mountain. And we're going to hold this bottom one in a valley. And we're going to fold the top one in a valley. And we'll go ahead and adhere this 1/4 inch from the bottom and up to the top, it looks like. The top left. Mine's going to be backwards because my cut line's backwards. It doesn't matter. It'll look the same. It just will be like a reflection. Take a line. Okay. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put glue on 2 of my panels. Leave the 2 inside ones alone. And glue just the 2 glue just the top and the bottom panels in place. And going Saga of Dad, we've had a fair amount of naked wandering around the house the last couple days. Tries to head him off and get him headed back towards the bedroom to put clothes back on as he sees him. Brittany comes in and out of the house while she's working because she gets the boxes from the front door. And I told her last night when she came in, you just barely missed our naked wanderer. But he said, I want you to remember this, Brittany, because this is important. I said, when you're coming in the house to get your work, you're family, not an employee. Okay. So this is what we have now. And let's see what we get. The last thing I need is to be sued for sexual harassment because Dad decides to stroll in his birthday suit. Okay. All right. Well, that's kind of what I've ended up doing in this one, Charm, is sometimes I just have to look at where they're trying to go and kind of ignore the directions. It's taken a little bit of that. Okay, so we got that in. From Artist Therapy, cut a strip of flowers 1 3/4 inches wide. Artist Therapy. Oh, this one? Artist Therapy. Cut a strip of flowers. 1 3/4 wide. Trim to match the right angle of the pop-up and adhere to the card. Which flowers did it want? Doesn't appear that is Artist Therapy. It looks like it's a flower garden they're using. Okay, let's skip that for 1 minute. Trim to match the right angle of the card. Cut 2 strips from Imagine a Flower Garden. And there we go. 3.5 by 1 1/4 and 1 by 3. Okay. Let's see here. I got a nice little piece of that here, so let's get a couple of those. Where is it? Okay, cut 2 strips from Imagine a Flower Garden. One strip is 3.5 by 1 1/4, and then one that's 1 by 3. Three and a half by 1 1/4. Okay, there's one. I don't think this is wide enough. It's not. To use another piece. And then I want a 1 inch strip. 1 by 3. Okay, we have these 2 pieces. Where are they going? That must be this one. Oh, it's going here. And then 1 by 3. Trying to fit the second and third pop-up panels. 1 by 3. So that's 1 by 3. Yeah, okay, that's what it said. This piece is not going to fit there. Okay, one of these is going to fit fine. I'm going to have to recut the other one. I'm going to go ahead and put this here. Problem I'm running into is that it's telling me to put these 2 pieces that just had me cut. Where did that other one go? Just do it on, oh, here. This panel. Which it appears it's not going to be wide enough for. I see where they're going. They want this panel and this panel covered. I think I'm just going to cut another one this size and then we'll go from there. Because this other one fits fine. 4.5 by 1 1/4. Let's just cut another one of those. Okay, now I've got 2 of those. Take that one off. And we're going to put these. This will be a little bigger than I need, but I didn't have to stop and figure out correctly how long it needed to be. I'm going to put this one here and this one here. You make me feel so interesting, honey.
What?
You make me feel so interesting.
Why?
You sit there and sleep.
I wasn't sleeping. I've been chatting. Come spend 2 hours watching me play my game, and I bet you'll be sleeping too.
Yeah, probably. And Paula, Price's sister, calls Teddy Bob's therapy dog. It was amazing when he came home from Christmas. He was barely moving the first part of the day. He came through that front door and saw his dog, and he was standing in the middle of the room playing playing with a bowl toy with him. Okay, I'm going to cut these off on my angles. This first one's just a little bit shy, but it's okay because there's actually a bigger piece going right. In fact, it doesn't even really show. There's a bigger piece going right here. I'm going to go ahead and cut this one off. We have nicely finished pieces there now. Let's see what we go from here. All right. Now, I see this pretty butterfly right here on the bottom. So beautiful. It's that beautiful. Beautiful things tag. Okay, well, I know I need the butterfly, and I know I need the butterfly cut to the pink frame, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And his kitty needs all the exercise she can get.
That's true.
Her name's Tabby. I call her Tubby. I know, who am I to judge, right? But she is as round as she is tall. Okay, so this one is going to go here. Okay, trim to the second and third panels. From Let's Get Artsy, cut around the beautiful things. Oh, there it is. Beautiful things. I'm going to do let's just say, okay. I need this beautiful things tag. Using it without the blur. Okay, to fussy this flower that is at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that out. I'm going to trim off these borders. Just going to fussy cut this flower real quick off the top of here.
lost our stream.
Excuse me?
Well, we paused and now you're not playing anymore. So.
Voice is strange. What is that? Looks like another cut-off panel.
This picture is better, but it's not working on my side.
Well, I'm just waiting to keep going until we get this resolved, whatever this is. Whatever it is.
It's just super choppy picture.
Huh.
And we're getting like.
It says it's okay now. Those guys, but it's not working right, huh?
Brenda says everything's okay, so it's just
Okay. I'm gonna cut this piece.
Looks like we're back on. Just pause.
From Design Beauty. And I need these two tags together because I want the one on the back. What one? Oops, and I'm looking at what I'm supposed to do with this one. I wonder if I was supposed to glue that down before I put the angle piece in. I bet it was. That is just going to be. Well, maybe I can. I do a little microsurgery on the heart here. It's like they wanted me to put this. I didn't see it anywhere in the instructions, but it looks like they wanted me to put this tag up here underneath before I glued down the panel. So I'm just going to unhook that, which I was able to do, and glue that right back in. Okay, let's set these aside for a minute. Let's go ahead and glue this tag down. So if you're watching this, make note that you need to glue this double panel down before you put your angled piece in. That was probably the instruction I wasn't understanding up there. That's going to be okay, because we made it work. There we go. So it looks like that. Now I'm going to put in my beautiful things. which goes on the left, and my butterfly, which goes on the right. I'll put those in. Don't let the fact that the instructions are poor discourage you from doing this kit, guys, because this is just fabulous. It's really beautiful. These cards are stunning when they're done. So don't let it discourage you. The directions are pretty straightforward. You just have to, well, not the directions, but the actual assembly is pretty straightforward. Just the directions are bad. That one is done inside. Outside. Oh, let's put our key back on. I'll glue it just like that. Okay. Whoops, don't want that. I want my good glue. We've got to ticket into our software company for our streams to see if we can figure out what's causing all the turmoil. So hopefully we'll have this fixed soon. Every once in a while they open up designer spaces. You guys could be designers for G45. Okay, there we go. There's the key on. A little white showing around it, but it'll dry clear. Okay, that one's done. Now I'm feeling like I want to do another one of those orientations because that one seemed harder than it needed to be. Okay, so that's a portrait. And then they did another landscape or two. You really can't see what they're doing with those. Well, let's do go ahead and do the portrait one. Any little pieces. Okay, so let's get another one of our cards out. Oh, that's my envelopes. All right, where's my cards? Good there. Gonna need to ink around it. Well, I certainly think their paper designers are out of this world. And that's the way they design everything to coordinate somebody and go together so well. Okay, tea stain around the edges of our card. Doesn't matter if it's 100% uniform. Doesn't matter at all. Just adding a little color to the white edges. Which are actually sort of an ivory anyway. You wouldn't absolutely have to do this step, but it's fun. Excuse me. I said, I stayed out here playing too late last night. This coming Friday in my on-site class, we're going to do the lighted parchment horse card that we did last week. I meant to do one of my parchment cards on white and one on mirror board, and I just spaced out when I was working and didn't do the mirror board one, so I'm going to have my in-class people do one on mirror and one on white card, and then the lighted card. That'll be fun. I believe Artsy restocked the lights on the website. They can be kind of expensive if you're buying one set at a time. I think they're about $6.95 or $7 on Amazon for one set of lights. But if you're buying more, they become quite affordable. But if you want just a set or two without making an investment in lights, we have them for $2 a set in the store. So whatever works for you guys. Okay. Excuse me. Let's see. Cut a piece of gallery scroll. Gallery scroll. That's new. I used that one yet. There it is. Ooh, that's pretty. Isn't that beautiful? That's beautiful. Okay. Making this card. Excuse me. Goodness, I'm so sorry for the yawning. You just need more pop.
They don't see you yawn until you announce it.
Well, you can hear me. 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, that's beautiful. Love that. Okay, put that on here. Just a little adhesive, liquid adhesive around there. Center this so we have a nice tea-stained border all the way around it. That looks beautiful, just like that. Love that. And let's see. Gallery scroll. And let's get Artsy cut around the blue framed Express Yourself. Let's get Artsy. Oh, no, that's Artist Therapy and Design Beauty. Express Yourself. There it is. This one up here. And it looks like They are interesting. They're going to cut around and leave some of these little pieces on. I'm going to cut that out. So I'll go and get that out. Remind me later to, I'll send you guys later the January and February calendars. They're ready. We have lots of fun stuff on the agenda for you. But I'll send you the calendars so you can get ready to do those. Decide what ones you might like to work along with. We have some good stuff coming up. Okay. Take this yellow flower. I'm going to keep this red flower up in the corner too. Just a little bit of fussy cutting here. Nothing that you should avoid this card kit over. It's easy fussy cutting. Okay. Those are the flowers we're keeping on the frame. It looks like we'll be adding a few extras from the flower garden piece. Looks pretty good. And then let's go to our flower garden. And we have some little pieces of that. That'd be good to get our flowers off of those. And yeah, I want one of these. I'll go ahead and take that out of here. And take this yellow flower and the red flower off of my scrap. Once again, I'm just going to go right around the edges of the petals, then clip in to take the extra color out. I'm just going to go right around the edges. So. And just cut the little slices out to get the extra green out of the way. I really like these cards, guys. I think they're fun. They're definitely artsy. They'll be fun to give. Very classy. They're fun to make too. If it should get past the crazy little bits of the instructions, they're actually pretty fun to make, but there's not really all that much to creating that inside pop-up. We're just cutting a piece that's 8 inches wide and fairly, or excuse me, 8 inches long and fairly wide. And drawing our angle on it. So that's pretty easy. Then we're adding another piece to the other flap to cover that. And then we're just decorating. So it's really not bad. They sure turn out pretty. We love that. What else do we want here? Get the rest of my scraps to see if I can use anything. I think I'll use this pink flower. Looks like they want me to have a pink flower over here. I have a little scrap I can cut the pink flower off of. I think I'll keep the little white flower just because it's quite attached to the pink. If I cut around it, it would look funny. One of my pink flower sides is going to be flat, but that's the part that's going to go under the edge of my card, so I don't care if it's flat. Do like that. And then they want me to have one more little piece of floral in the upper right-hand corner. Still looking for something I can use for that. I don't like to whack pictures out of the middle of things. I just as soon use up what I'm already cutting. That's a nice full piece. I don't want that for sure.
Is it just the back of this one?
Yes, thank you, Grace. Okay. And then they're going to use these two red lilies, so I guess I'll go get those since this is the piece I have available to do it from. Let me just keep that yellow. Put it over the top of the other one. Looks like they're keeping green around the red. Keep a little of it. I'll do that the same way. I'll just kind of rough cut it out and then cut out the pieces I don't want. Okay. One of my favorite modern artists is Whalen, the guy who does the pictures of whales and sea life. And I don't know if you guys heard that his studio and gallery was on the Hawaiian island that burned. And he lost his gallery and all his original artworks, his bronzes, his paintings. That was very, very sad. But he had a great attitude about it. He's like 60 and he said, yep, it's a lifetime of work so far. But fortunately, I'm pretty young for an artist and I have time to redo it. I'm in a lot better shape than the people who lost everything. Okay. All right. We're going to go ahead and get these ready to go. I'm going to put some foam on the back of this piece like I have been. I have a Wayland print, and I had loaned it to Jordan. I called her and said, "Where's my Wayland?" Wyland. She said, "I have it. It's in the spare bedroom. It's not up on the wall right now." I said, "You make sure you take care of it." The buildings are amazing. There's a couple of buildings in Portland that have his artwork, and it's fabulous. He's got paintings all over the country on buildings. I thought it was cool that he kind of deflected the interviewer's attention off of him, though, and back to the people who really needed assistance. I thought that was very classy, very cool of him to do. Okay, that one's going to get glued on top. Take this off. Glue these two flowers where I have them now. Okay, so I've got those coming out from underneath. And then I'm going to glue this piece right on top here, like that, and put a little piece of foam under it. So I think I'll go ahead and glue this. In place. Oops. Glue where I didn't want it. I like that. That's looking good. Okay, I'll put a little piece of foam just under the edge of this piece. Works better if you take the tape off. Take the back of the tape off before you try to push it down. All right, to the inside of the card we go. Okay, go back to the front instructions that I've done already. They were easy. Okay, I'm going to.
Irene caught you. Forgot to remove the tape.
Yep, you caught me. Okay, so we're going to. Which pieces am I using now? I'm going to use. Let's go to and glue frame to express yourself. Pop up on the card front. Fussy cut flowers. Yes, I did that. Cut a piece of gallery straw 8 by 3 inches. Eight by 3. Except this is going the wrong way. So I think I have to cut it out of a fresh sheet, which is too bad, but I'll do it. Gallery stroll. This to be 8 by 3 inches. This to be 8 by 3. Okay. And I can hear that. I can hear that.
Thelma said there's a roar. I was trying
Don't
to
have a
determine
roar,
if it's
Thelma.
her side
Huh?
or
Okay.
yours.
All right.
It appears to be hers.
Okay. All right. So I have an 8 by 3 that's going to go right there. And this looks like it might be the back of this one. Let's draw from Creative Chaos. Cut an 8 by 4.5 with a 3 on the right. Can't I just use this one I already have? I think I can. I'm going to move away from the directions. I'm going to do, this is going to be this one needs to be 8 by 4.5. And then I want the right side to be 3 inches. Okay. Oops. Down here to the very edge. Mark it conspicuously at 3 inches. But really, it's hard to see the ink on that header. Go from the 3 I marked to the corner. How that it's not easy to see. I have to hold my paper at just the right angle to see my line. I can do it. Okay. I'm going to fold this one in half. Those are pretty together. I don't know why they didn't just put the first front and back sheets together. That's beautiful. I'm going to fold this one in half and glue it in place at the top. Glue all the way around the edge. Make sure I've got my words right side up. I'm going to place this one right on the fold line. Close my card. I end up having that beautiful piece up there. This is a little bit off. Fix that. Just a little bit off center. That's beautiful. That looks good. Okay. Now I'm going to take this angle we just made. We're going to fold this so that the center fold will be a mountain. And each of the sides will be a valley. I'm folding it in half, then folding each side in half again. And we're going to glue this in place. A 1/4 inch from the bottom. And a 1/4 inch from the bottom. That will be our pop out. Only putting glue on the 2 outside pieces, 2 outside panels. We'll come down from that one and attach that. Kind of smooth this in. Attach that. And we now have our pop out feature. You gotta watch it though when you fold the card. The glue will try to slip on you, so catch that and push it back where it belongs. Let's see how we're going to decorate this one. Looks like we've got some floral border here. Are we getting that? Okay. All right. Using various cut parts from Art Therapy. Let's get Artsy and Design Beauty decorate the panels. Oh, okay, they're not even going to tell me which ones, so I guess I get to decide. Okay. All right. I need lots of cut up pieces at this point. There's several more. Okay, let's see what we've got. Looking for that floral border. There's a butterfly border I could take. Look for that floral border. Let's see a floral border on that part. Using various cut parts from Art Therapy, let's get Artsy and Design Beauty decorated panels. From Let's Get Artsy, cut around the lady in the lower right. Beauty Therapy. There's the bird one. I'll take that. And oh, there's that lady. Okay, I found 2 of them. This is the lady in the lower right they're talking about here. It's kind of a funny looking little thing. It's a small piece, so I'm going to cut it out with the blue border, then we'll see if it'll actually fit with the border, or whether I need to take that blue border off. A bit of extra white there, I'll get rid of that. Okay, that's there. We got a key on the inside here. Let's see. We have, looks like they're using maybe the second one. We've got that. And then we've got this bird sings. The bird sings. Looks like they're using it without the orange border, but I'll cut it out with the border and then see if it fits or whether I need to cut the orange down. Looks like we're using another one of those water lilies, beautiful ones. So let's see if we can find that. Yeah, it's going to need to be cut down to be narrower. And let's see. And this one. Got this lady with her hand over her shoulder and use the back of that. Once again, I may need to cut the borders off. So when we're ready, there's that one. And then we still have one more I need. Could use Starry. Oh no, it's going the wrong way. I was going to say I could use Starry Night, but it's going the wrong direction.
Are these plastic or metal keys you're using?
Metal keys. So they'll add a little weight. Not a whole lot of weight. They're actually very nicely made and very beautifully detailed. I have to find another water lilies piece. There's water lilies. There's the flowers I wanted. Okay. Oh, I guess this is actually the same border we used on the first card. It's the butterflies. And like I said, we're not going to cut off all the extra edges. We're going to cut that straight across because we want an 8-inch piece to go across the bottom here. So this is actually the same one we used before. I just didn't recognize it. I'm going to use that one. I'm going to come up here and get water lilies with its white frame. That might have to cut down just. No, it's going to fit. It's going to fit. Okay, I'm going to take this border and do just what I'm actually first. I'm going to trim the pink edge off that doesn't belong. Just had a little bit of extra pink there. I'm going to go ahead and leave that just like it is. I'm going to fold this in half. I'm going to fold it again, just because it's going to make it easier to get it to adhere to all of my mountains and valleys. Yeah, I highly recommend this kit, guys. I'm really, really enjoying this. I'll go ahead and put glue all the way down my strip. Like somebody said earlier, when the instructions just get too funky, either watch this video and figure out how we did it, or just look at the picture and make it your way. Okay, that looks great. And And it folds nicely where it needs to fold. I think it really doesn't matter if I take that off or not. I just need to have room for the lady and the key at the edge here. So I'm going to go ahead and put those down. Have a little bit of white to cut off that shows on that dark blue background. So trim that up just a little. Go ahead and put this down to my card. And I'll put that right in above the border. Put my key in next to that. Part that's going to touch both the top and the bottom of the key. I do have a flat back on this key, which is nice. The glue will dry clear if you're using either tacky or cosmic shimmer like I am, the glue will dry clear. I'm going to go ahead and cut the frame off of this one because it's a little wide for where I want it. So I'm going to cut it to the pink frame, the pink matte inside. We'll put her right above our border. Oops. I actually wanted this piece, I believe. Although I really love that lady with her arm. She's pretty. I'm going to put the butterflies here so I have a place to sign. And this one's plenty wide for that, so I'm going to just go ahead and glue this one down. And then the bird sings. It's a little crowded. I kind of like the orange on it though, so I'm going to try and see if I could just cut off some of it. Leave a little bit of the orange. I think it's pretty in there. It's the blue. You can cut this orange frame clear off or cut it down a little bit to just make it a matte. That should fit really nicely. And raise this one just a little higher to take advantage of my angle. Does leave a little space here, so if you wanted to, it's not really much space, but if you wanted to cut a flower for there, you could. Close it all up. Here's our card from the outside.
Did you put your key on?
We did. There's our card from the inside. Aren't those pretty? Just pretty. So it is 110. It's bugging me that I had some really pretty paper here they didn't touch at all. I don't know if we have time to do another card or not. I could at least maybe design the outside. You know what to do on the inside. Look at this. We have this. It wasn't used. That's just wrong. That's just wrong, I say. Now, let's see. Let's just do a little bit. We have another A6 card here. Yeah. As you get more confident in the steps, it gets way faster. And it's not a difficult process. It's just weird. The instructions were kind of weird. There's actually some errors, actual errors in the instructions where it tells you to cut the same piece twice and just some craziness. So if I were you, if you can, keep your directions for cutting size reference and that kind of thing, but just follow our video and don't forget to glue that piece down in the landscape card that we did. Glue that piece down before you get before you put the four panel in, because I had to do a little minor surgery on my card to fix that. But otherwise, our instructions have been pretty darn good.
It says you're making some fabulous cards today, Debbie.
Thank you, Elsie. It's easy when you have great materials to work with, and the designer did a beautiful job with this. Just the instructions aren't that great, but the designer did a fabulous job in coming up with a design for these cards. I love them. I love the bright, pretty colors together. I really am enjoying this kit. I highly recommend this kit to you guys. And don't let it scare you that the instructions aren't great. Just follow our video.
Almost says you could use that as a simple base and put a simple saying on it.
Yeah, it's beautiful. In fact, I think I'm going to... It actually already has a saying right in the middle of it, too. It says, "Every day I discover more and more beautiful things." This is just a beautiful topper right here. Kind of thinking about using that just like it is, and then maybe we'll put a smaller piece above it of something.
It says time to go rogue, Debbie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't need much encouragement, Brenda.
That is a truth. That is a truth. You hardly notice this edge, so you don't absolutely have to tea stain this edge, but it does just add a little extra something, you know?
Yeah. Like the ribbon on the package.
Yeah, just a little extra. Okay, I'm taking that beautiful thing saying, because, and then it also has the richness I achieve comes from nature, the source of my inspiration. It's by Gogh and Monet. Okay, so this has to be 4 inches wide, which means, well, that's pretty close. I'm going to take a tiny edge off of here. So 4 inches will take me deeper into that print. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Wow. I don't even know what part of this to use because the entire thing is beautiful. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. I'm going to go take I want that life is beautiful at the very top, which means I'll trim the bottom just a little bit to get it where I want it. You know what I did though? I cut that a little short. Cut it a little short. It should have been 5 1/4 and I cut it to 5. Let's see what I can do with that. Okay.
Border to the bottom.
Huh?
Shadow border to the bottom.
That's good. I could do that. Or I could do what I would
Slice.
often do and splice it back, then recut it. Because if I can get it lined up really, really good, nobody will ever know it was cut there. Now I'm going to cut it to 5 1/4. And when I glue it down, nobody will ever know. Except you, me, and 3,500 of our closest friends. That's gorgeous. Oh my gosh. I just almost want to make that card just stop right there. Because it's so beautiful. It's like, what part do you cover up when it's that pretty? Got to get both sides of my seam there where I taped that. Pick up both sides of the paper.
Almost adjusted. Just cut the card a little, Debbie.
I could have done that too. Yes, I could have. But you know what? No one, come in close. No one will ever see that. No one will ever see that. Okay, so look at that though. Wow. Look at that, how beautiful it is. Life is beautiful up here. Every day I discover more and more beautiful things by Gogh Monet, Dream. Then it's got other just slightly embossed words, Imagine, other things down there. That's gorgeous. Let's see if there's anything we can use that's small but won't cover up too much on that front page. I don't know that I want anything, but we'll look. What can we do that will just be small?
Just 3D some of the water lilies.
Oh, that's a nice idea. But I don't. I might be able to do that. Bryce's suggestion was, instead of adding something else to the cover where I like it the way it is, maybe we should just 3D some of the water lilies. That's a nice idea.
There it is. Right? Nope, you turn it over.
I have one cut here too. Just realized. So let's see. That does not have water lilies, enough of them on it. This does have a few, but they're in a different part of the paper. So if I want to 3D it, I actually have to kind of steal some of these off this fresh sheet, which I don't think I mind doing. I like that idea, Bryce. We'll see what this looks like. I do like the idea, but I do like the idea of framing it too with some stickers. That's another nice idea. Because it's just too beautiful to cover up, isn't it? I think it is. I think Monet has to be one of my favorites of the masters. Just so beautiful. The colors and the serenity of his pieces. Just beautiful. So it just needs little full squares. That's what I guess. It does seem to lend itself well to being dimensional. I think I have a little gold bezel frames in here. Not sure. Or a little gold find a trading frame from our last work. Let's see if we don't. I'm kind of still thinking that might be nice, though. Some of those little find it trading frames that we just showed you would be perfect if I have a sheet in here.
Thelma drove 3 hours to see his display in Chicago.
Wow. I don't blame you. I might do that too. That would be wonderful. That little sheet of stickers doesn't seem to be here. These are silver. Do I have silver borders? Yes, I do. Not quite what I had in mind, but let's do it. These are very petite, which I think will look pretty. So, of course, these find a trading stickers will not be included in your kit because we're adding those as we go. But I happen to know where you can get a very nice selection of them. Just one of the best selections. And adding that additional dimension, however you do it, whether you're doing it with foam or 3D decoupage or however you do it, just seems to kind of put the finishing touch on things, doesn't it? case you're wondering, these are Find It trading corners. I don't think mine has the number on it.
On the back.
Oh yeah, it might have it on the back. Yes, it does. The little corners, they actually have two separate sheets. The little corners are CD 3068Z. Remember, the Z just means that it's silver, because they spell silver with a Z. Holland. Oops.
Says those stickers are called lifesavers.
That they are. Not only are they beautiful, they can hide a multitude of sins. Could it be wide enough? I don't know. Oh, wow, it's a perfect size. Love it when a plan comes together. Okay. Oops. Let's use the rest of this piece when we cut our 3D off to make our angles piece. That needs to be for, let me show you that. Our 3D work on it and our borders and corners. I think that's as pretty as it can be. Okay, let's see the size of that. Again, that is...
We're going to just do the outside cover.
We were, but we can do it fast. 8 by 4 3/4. I'm going to cut this down to
3 inches.
3 inches, you're right. And right up to the corner. Long blade scissors. So I don't have to take. All art starts with imagination, it also says on this. And being creative is not a hobby, it's a way of life. Is also on this. Okay, we know what we're going to do with this. We're going to hold it. Hoping the beautiful thing still shows. I think it will. Need a 3 by 8 and a coordinating color. I love this pattern, so I'm not sure I want to cut another one of these, but I think we could use this with it, which I think is fine. So, oh, that's got that. Yeah, I'm still going to use it. I need a 3x8, which we will fold in half. You know, that isn't it funny how that happens sometimes, that we just start playing and doing our own thing and we end up with something we like even better than the original we're replicating. We're going to put this 3-inch at the top. And we're going to make sure that we get it right to the fold line, because that's going to be important. Oops, don't slide on me. Do not slide on me. Still slid on me a little bit. Or in this case, it's all of our idea, right? We're kind of building it cooperatively. It slid on me, guys. Gotta catch that when it does it and get it back straight. It will try to do that, or the fold does. It just will. It pulls on it, you know. That's beautiful. Okay, on this one, we're going to glue on 2 panels. I'm going to come down to 1/4 of an inch from the bottom. We're going to kind of feed this across. Match it up on the other side. And keep it from sliding. That's glue slippery. I love this. Wow. It's almost like I wanted to do something up here and not down here.
Yeah, I was just thinking just put one of the top things up there.
Yeah, let's see what we've got. I can fill in that top part with.
You have those writing tags.
Excuse me?
The writing tags. They have the just little butterflies with the lines down the side.
I do have this piece of butterfly. I also have a couple of sayings. That's maybe a possibility. It's the same sheet. We still have beautiful paper in this pack, guys. I have more than you're going to have because I have 2 packs of paper out here so we could replicate the first card. Oh, I like these stamps up there. Or just do Let's Get Artsy up there. I have one of these. Not all chopped up. Wow, that's pretty. Paper is just beautiful. Yeah, I either want the stamps or the Let's Get Artsy. I do have a piece cut out of that already, so I can cut this up. I kind of think the stamps are going to look good up there. And then maybe I also saw
Both out.
a couple little narrow sayings. If I put the stamps on one side, I could put art starts with imagination on the other side.
Irene loves the stamp idea too.
It's like you just don't want to mess with that other piece too much, right? You have to sign this one on the back or sign it in a gel pen.
Mary
So it'll
T
show.
likes it just as is.
I do think it's beautiful. I don't want to overdo
just
it.
a title at the top, and Irene agreed.
Who said that?
Thelma and Irene.
Oh. I don't think it hurts to have other interests there. And where's that? That's right there. So you guys think you're about ready to take off and do these cards now? Are you feeling pretty confident? There's so many beautiful papers left. It's like I just want to sit out here and finish these. That actually gets lost in the background, and I think it adds nothing. This, on the other hand, it's okay on this side. So here we go. Opinion time. You get to vote. Saying or stamps? Here's the saying at the top. Back up just a tad. There you go. There's the saying. And it says, all art starts with imagination. I could maybe mount that. That actually might be pretty. I could mount that on like some, well, not necessarily Mary, because we haven't brought Mary into these. Maybe like this.
Oh, yeah.
And it would bring in the colors from down below. So that's one choice. Or stamps, which I also think are beautiful. Saying, matted, or stamps?
One vote saying.
It's really a neat card design, isn't it, Elsie? I'm looking for your votes. Stamps or saying?
Elsie says stamps.
Elsie
Irene
says
says stamps. So I have 2 votes stamps, 1 vote saying.
okay. Keep your votes coming in. There's quite a few of us here.
Irene also agrees with Elsie for stamps. So that's 3 stamps, 1 saying.
Oh, Thelma says matted. So saying matted. So that's
Saying,
2
so 2
sayings.
Sharma saying. So you're tied.
Are we tied?
Uh-huh. You're tied.
Well, let's map the same and see what it looks like. Then we can make our final decision. I knew I had a piece of this orange somewhere. I need to get my February 8 day.
February birthday cards.
Oh, okay.
And then she voted for sane.
Okay. All right.
She's basically saying, hurry up. I need to get onto my February cards.
I don't think anybody's saying hurry up. I think we're all kind of enjoying this today. But we are going to quit after this because there comes a point when we really have to wrap it up. Whoops, look at that. It slid right out on me. So I didn't see any answers to whether you guys feel like you're ready to take this card on.
Elsie says she's going to try.
Oh yeah, Elsie said she is. She did. She did. Oh, you know, I really like that. We have plenty of room to dimensionalize this even on the inside, which I don't usually do. But I think I'm going to do it in this case because we have bulk on the bottom in the front. I can put a little bit on the inside at the top without it being too awkward. I'm going to put this on foam tape.
T says yes.
Yeah, I like it with the orange backing. It needed something to make it stand out a little bit, I think.
Yep. Mary T says yes. Sharma. Elsie says yes. Sharma says that's it.
There we go. How beautiful is that, guys? Look at our beautiful card we just designed in the spur of the moment. And we still have some beautiful papers left in here. It's so hard to stop, but we have to. Because I'm hungry. Beautiful, though. Let's look at what we've made today. The thing we could have done was use a key, but I just don't think it needs a key. Okay, let's take a look at what we've made today. We have our portrait one.
Landscape.
Put the stamp on the outside of the card. Maybe. Just beautiful. Oh, envelope puts a stamp. Okay. Oh, this one we have twice because I made it before class and then we made it again in class. And then our last one. Love it. Love it, love it. This was fun, guys. Really fun. So, if you like this, hit the thumbs up button if you would, please. It makes me feel great, and it tells YouTube that this is a channel that should be recommended. When we sign off today, when we sign off today, after like 30 seconds, you can refresh your screen and leave a comment. Tell me which of our cards you like the most today and whether that you think this is a technique you'd like to try. And finally, if you're not already a subscriber and you popped in today to watch what we're doing, we have fun all the time. And we get some instruction and things in there too, but we always have fun together. So hit that subscribe button so you never miss an episode. Are there any questions, comments, or pearls of wisdom? That was a good suggestion, Bryce, with the 3D. I like that a lot. In fact, the only thing that would have made it better is if I would have dimensionalized them a little bit by rounding out maybe rounding them a little bit with my tool. But very nice. Oh, you know what? I forgot. Let's do it in Let's Do Wednesday because I have to collect them all together. He has them displayed on the piano. And if Bryce rearranges things, he says, "Where'd my pictures go?" Where'd my pictures go, guys? All right. If there are no questions, comments, or pearls of wisdom, we'll go ahead and I'm sorry, Brenda, that I forgot those, but we'll bring them on the next show. I apologize for that. I'm going to go ahead for now and say good night, Gracie.